This is the Seliom Workflow Modeler, which allows us to model any business process with just these 5 symbols. If we want to add a certain symbol, we just drag it and drop it, and to join 2 symbols, we go over the source symbol, press the left mouse button, and drag it to the destination symbol. The first symbol is the start of the process. Like the rest of the symbols, here we specify the name of the step and a description that will serve to help the person responsible for executing this step, once the process is automated. Next, we define who can execute this process. These can be private users or virtual work groups that we can create in Seliom. We have an input form in which we can add any type of field in a simple way. If we go into detail, here you can see a preview of how the field will look on the form. We have a field label, whether the field is mandatory or not, a placeholder, a description, a field help, and something especially important, which is the variable associated with this field, to be used throughout the process or to integrate with external applications. Finally, we have the process label that will allow us to identify a case. The label can be generated manually at the time the process is launched, assigning it one of the form fields or a combination of fields and text. In the tasks, we have the same name and description, an associated form, and the person responsible for performing this task. This can be a specific user, several people, or a work group where Seliom will assign the task to the person with the least workload. We can also assign a person who has performed a previous task and, finally, assign a role that we have defined within the process. In this case, we will assign the executor role that we have created. Finally, we specify the deadline by which the person responsible must carry out this task. In the decisions, we still have a name, a description, and a person in charge. Also, we define all the decision options, and here we can see the path that the process will take for each option chosen. We can also automate the decision through simple formulas so that it is made without human intervention. Next, to complete the decision, we define its deadline. Finally, we have robots that allow us to automate tasks without human intervention, such as waiting robots, where we can specify the waiting time expressed in days, hours, or minutes, or until a specific date that we can generate through formulas. There are also robots to send an email automatically. Here we can see the recipients, the subject, the body of the email, where we can use the process variables, as well as attach documents collected by the process. To finish, we have the last symbol, which allows us to specify the end of a process. Once the flowchart is finished, the only thing left to do is automate the process by clicking the Automate button.